Have you ever bought a bunch of very fresh green onions, used only a few stalks, and then stored the rest in the refrigerator, only to find that before long they had wilted, the leaves had turned yellow, and some had even become soft and limp and had to be thrown away? Such a waste, isn't it? Today, I will share with you 4 very simple ways to store green onions. The first 2 methods are suitable when you want to keep green onions in the refrigerator for everyday use. The other 2 methods are for times when you buy a large amount of green onions or want to store them for longer in the freezer. In particular, the final method is very convenient. Each time you make soup, you only need to take out 1 green onion cube and add it directly to the pot, without needing to wash or chop the green onions again. Now, let us begin. First, I will open the bunch of green onions and inspect it very carefully. Any leaves that have turned yellow, become bruised, soft, or show signs of becoming slimy should be removed immediately. If these parts are left mixed in with the fresh green onions, the moisture and damaged areas can cause the entire bunch to lose quality more quickly. The roots usually have quite a lot of soil attached to them, so I will cut off the old roots. However, you should not cut too deeply into the white base because this will remove quite a lot of the edible part of the green onions. After cleaning them, I place the green onions in a large basin of water. You can add a little salt and baking soda to the water, stir until dissolved, and then soak the green onions for about 5 minutes. There is no need to soak them for too long because green onions are quite delicate, and soaking them for too long can cause the leaves to become bruised and absorb more water. While washing, use your hands to gently separate each green onion stalk. Pay close attention to cleaning the leaf sheaths and the spaces near the base because this is where dirt and sand are most likely to become trapped. After that, I rinse the green onions 2 to 3 times with clean water until the rinse water is clear and there is no dirt or sediment left. Now comes a very important step, drying the green onions. I place the green onions on a clean towel, spread the stalks out, and then use another towel to gently blot them from above. You should only press lightly and should not rub or scrub them because green onion leaves are very easily bruised. After blotting, I leave the green onions spread out for a little longer so that the remaining moisture can evaporate. Whether you store them in the refrigerator or the freezer, the drier the green onions are, the less likely they are to become slimy, waterlogged, or freeze into one solid block. Therefore, do not rush to put the green onions into a container while they are still wet. Method 1. With the first method, I keep the green onion stalks whole so that when I take them out to use, they still have both the green leaves and the white base intact. I prepare a clean, dry container with a lid. If the green onion stalks are longer than the container, you can cut them into 2 or 3 sections to fit, but you should not chop them into small pieces. First, I place a layer of dry paper towel at the bottom of the container. This layer will help absorb some of the moisture that develops during storage. Now, I gently arrange the green onions in the container. You should not pack too many green onions into a small container. When the green onions are pressed too tightly, air cannot circulate easily, the leaves are more likely to become bruised, and the ones underneath can also become damp more quickly. After arranging them, I place another layer of paper towel on top and then close the lid. I place the container of green onions in the crisper drawer of the refrigerator. Each day when you take out green onions to use, you should also check them. If the paper towel has become damp, replace it with a new sheet. If you find a green onion stalk that has turned yellow or become soft, remove it immediately so that it does not affect the remaining stalks. This method is suitable when you want to use green onions for dishes that require the stalks to remain whole or the green leaves to stay relatively fresh, such as garnishing dishes, making split green onions, or cutting them to the length you want. However, green onions are a fresh vegetable, so we should still use them as soon as possible. If the green onions develop an unusual odor, become slimy, or change color significantly, they should no longer be used. Method 2, chopped and stored in the refrigerator. The second method is very suitable for busy people or those who often need a small amount of green onion to sprinkle over dishes. I take the green onions that have already been washed and dried, place them on a cutting board, and chop them into small pieces. Before chopping, remember to check the knife and cutting board. Both must be clean and dry. If the cutting board still has water on it, the freshly chopped green onions will quickly become damp and will be more difficult to keep for long. You can chop the white part and the green top separately if your family usually uses these two parts for different purposes. The white part has a stronger aroma and is suitable for sautéing to release its fragrance or adding to stir-fried dishes. The green tops are usually added near the end of cooking or sprinkled over the dish before serving. When chopped, the green onions may release a little moisture from inside. Therefore, I let them rest for a few minutes and then gently blot them once more. This small step will help the green onions stick together less and reduce the amount of water collecting in the jar. I prepare a clean and completely dry glass jar or food storage container. Now, I place the chopped green onions in the jar. You should add them gently without pressing or packing them too tightly. I close the lid and place the jar in the refrigerator. Whenever you need to use them, simply open the jar and take out the amount you need. Since the green onions have already been washed and chopped, they are very convenient for eggs, noodles, rice porridge, soup, or fried rice. This method is very convenient, but it is suitable for short-term use. Because the green onions have already been chopped, the cut surfaces are exposed to more air than whole green onion stalks. Therefore, you should prepare only an amount that is enough to use. The green onions that you do not need to use right away can be stored using the following two freezing methods. Method 3. For the green onions that I want to store for longer, I will chop them and place them in the freezer. The method is quite similar to the second one, but the green onions need to be dried more thoroughly. If they still contain too much water, the pieces will stick firmly together after freezing, making it very difficult to take out only a small amount at a time. I place the green onions in a freezer-safe container and close the lid tightly. You can also use a jar that is suitable for freezing temperatures, but you should not fill it too full. Leave a small amount of space at the top and avoid using thin glass jars that can easily crack when the temperature changes. I write the freezing date on the outside of the container. This is very simple, but it helps us know which container should be used first. After that, I place the container of green onions in the freezer. When you need to cook, simply use a dry spoon to take out the amount of green onion you need and add it directly to the dish you are cooking. There is no need to thaw it first. Green onions will no longer be as crisp as fresh green onions after freezing. Once thawed, the leaves are usually softer. Therefore, this method is most suitable for cooked dishes such as soup, rice porridge, noodles, fried rice, eggs, or stir-fried dishes. After taking out the green onions, close the lid immediately and return the container to the freezer. You should not leave the container outside for too long and then refreeze it repeatedly because the green onions can develop more ice and lose quality. Method 4. This is the method I find very convenient, especially for families that often make soup, rice porridge, or broth. I continue using the green onions that have already been washed, dried, and chopped. I prepare a clean ice cube tray and divide the green onions among the compartments. You do not need to pack them too full. Simply place enough green onion for one cooking portion in each compartment. This way, when using them, we can take out exactly 1 or 2 cubes without having to separate a large frozen block. After adding the green onions, I pour in just enough clean water to keep them together in each compartment. There is no need to fill the water all the way to the top because water expands as it freezes. It only needs to cover and hold the pieces of green onion together. I use a spoon to gently press the green onions down under the water, then place the tray in the freezer on a level surface so that the water does not spill out. Once the green onion cubes are completely frozen solid, I remove them from the tray and transfer them to a sealed bag or container. If the green onions are left in the ice cube tray for a long time without being covered, they may dry out on the surface or absorb odors from other foods in the freezer. Therefore, transferring the green onion cubes to a sealed container will keep things neater and help maintain their quality better. Whenever I make soup, rice porridge, noodles, or broth, I only need to take out 1 green onion cube and add it directly to the pot. The ice will melt very quickly, and the green onions will release their aroma into the dish. If you often make stir-fried dishes or egg dishes, you can also try another version. Replace the water with a small amount of cooking oil that is suitable for the dish. However, you should prepare the two trays separately and label them clearly so that you do not confuse the green onion cubes made with water with the green onion cubes made with oil. Which storage method do you like best? I really like the ice cube tray method because each cube is just enough for one cooking portion, making it very neat and convenient. Please leave a comment and let me know how you usually store green onions. Who knows, your method may be a useful tip that many of us have never tried before. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like it, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to the Merry Home channel so that you do not miss the next simple kitchen tips. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I wish you and your family many delicious meals. See you in the next video.